All right, today we're checking into one of the most famous and, let's be honest, terrifying locations in all of literature, the Overlook Hotel. We are digging deep into Stephen King's absolute masterpiece, The Shining, a novel that's been giving people nightmares for decades. But as you're about to see, this is so much more than just a simple ghost story.
Yeah, let's just get right to the heart of it. The real terror in The Shining. It isn't just about the ghosts jumping out at you. It's a bone-chilling look at things like addiction, isolation, and, the kind of darkness that can hide inside the human heart. So, come on, let's start peeling back the layers of this masterclass in psychological horror. Okay, so first, we have to meet the family at the center of this whole storm, the Torrances. You've got Jack, Wendy, and their little boy, Danny. They're about to become the winter caretakers for this super remote Overlook Hotel, which means they're going to be completely cut off from the entire world. Now, each one of them is bringing their own baggage to the Overlook. Jack, he's just desperate for a fresh start, right? He wants to finally finish his book and, most importantly, beat his alcoholism for good. Wendy is just trying to hold her family together, looking for some stability. And then there's Danny, who has this incredibly powerful and pretty unique ability. And that special gift, it's called the Shining. It's this psychic sense that lets Danny see all of the hotel's violent, bloody past. He can feel its evil energy way before his parents have any clue what's going on. And this ability, it makes him a prime target for the hotel. But it also makes him the true emotional core of the entire story. So, this brings us to what is, you could argue, the most important character in the whole book, the hotel itself. Seriously, the Overlook isn't just a setting. It's a living, breathing thing with a really dark and, well, hungry appetite. I mean, just think about how the hotel transforms. In the summer, it's this lively, luxury destination. But when winter hits, it becomes this isolated prison cell, just filled with this overwhelming, crushing silence. King uses this incredible contrast to build a sense of claustrophobia that is just off the charts, turning these grand, empty hallways into something truly menacing. And here's the brilliant part. The physical isolation is a perfect mirror for what's happening to them psychologically. As the snow piles up outside, cutting them off from everything, their own inner demons and the hotel's growing influence have absolutely nowhere to escape. They are trapped in every sense of the word. All of this immense external pressure leads directly to the internal breakdown of the novel's most tragic figure, Jack Torrance. And this right here is where the story shifts from being just a spooky ghost story into a truly terrifying psychological study. You know, King is so careful to show us that Jack isn't just some evil guy from the get-go. He's a deeply flawed man, struggling with some serious rage issues, guilt, and a really fragile grip on his sobriety. The Overlook doesn't create the darkness inside him. It finds it, it feeds it, and then it unleashes it. And his downfall feels so real, so disturbingly believable, because it happens in stages. He shows up hoping for a second chance, but the hotel just systematically starts to prey on his biggest insecurities, especially his past with alcohol. It whispers to him, twisting his love for his family into resentment and paranoia, until the man he was is completely consumed by the monster within. And this really gets us to the core of what makes The Shining so timelessly scary. The ghosts? Yeah, they're creepy for sure, but the real horror comes from very real, very human problems. The real ghosts haunting the halls of the Overlook aren't just the party guests from the 1920s. No, they're the specters of addiction, the crushing weight of being totally alone, and the painful cycles of trauma that can get passed down from one generation to the next. Think about it. Jack's alcoholism is the perfect parallel for the hotel's influence. Both of them promise him power. They promise him an escape. But in the end, they just consume and destroy him from the inside out, turning him against the very people he's supposed to love and protect. The novel is also this powerful warning about what happens to our minds when we're completely cut off. Without any kind of support system or human connection, Jack's psyche just completely fractures, and it shows us just how fragile we all can be under the right or, wrong circumstances. King also digs deep into how pain gets passed down. Jack is literally haunted by memories of his own abusive father, and in his darkest moments, his biggest fear is becoming the very thing he hated as a child. It's a terrifying look at how the cycle of violence can just echo through a family. So why are we still talking about this book all these decades later?
Well, it really comes down to King's unbelievable skill as a writer and the timeless, deeply relatable fears that are right at the heart of the story.
I mean, King's writing style is just so immersive. He doesn't just tell you the characters are scared, he puts you right inside their heads, forcing you to feel their panic and their terror as it builds. The tension just climbs and climbs, so slowly and deliberately, until it all just explodes in the finale.
And this is the final, most important takeaway. The book's true power isn't really in its ghosts, it's in how it reflects our own deepest fears. The fear of losing control, of failing our families, of maybe, just maybe, becoming our own worst enemy.
Ultimately, The Shining leaves you with this one huge, haunting question. Is the hotel itself evil? Or is it just a giant magnifying glass for the darkness that we already carry around inside of us? The book suggests that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones that have been with us all along.